My name is Nick Pace, and one of the first moves I would make if I were to win the presidency election would be to start by managing the waste of food in America. It is believed that every single day there is enough food wasted to fill an entire football stadium. This is an astonishing and disgusting fact, especially when nearly 50 million people in the United States live in a food insecure household, including 15 million children. This food could be going to better use than just in garbage. This food could be used to feed the millions of people that go to bed starving each and every night. This just shows how little most people appreciate the little things in life. For example, in Willsbach Dining Hall alone, you can see at the end of each and every day, hundreds of pounds of food is thrown out. How could we possibly become so uneducated as a country that we waste so much when many have nothing to waste at all? One country has already set the precedent on this dearly needed revolution. This country is France. France has begun by making it absolutely illegal for supermarkets to throw out the unused food and instead forcing them to donate it to local charities and food banks in their area. This is a step forward that the United States desperately need to take. There's just far too many mouths to feed that for companies to be just throwing away spare food because they cannot make a profit. This is something that cannot be ignored any longer. And no matter how hard charities and others campaign for this change, it is not enough. It is long overdue for the government to step in and force the first step in revolutioning our country. And around the world. At the moment, the average pay per hour for a military member is just $11. This is quite similar to what I made working at a restaurant back at home. Now for me, I'm not personally complaining, but the servicemen and women in America are, as they should be. These people serve our rights and our country with their lives, and are paid as much as a local busboy at a restaurant. To me, this is outrageous. I can go as far as call it criminal. I know members of the military. I have a few friends who are part of the military, and they have all seen firsthand how difficult of a job it is to do. And he is yet to even deploy to another country. But to him, he does not even care, because all he has ever wanted to do is to serve the country that he loves. But does that mean he should be taken advantage of by making so little? There is a reason that nearly 50,000 veterans are stranded on the streets homeless. This is for two reasons. The skills they have learned through the military do not easily mix with the skills you need in the labor force today. And because they have not made enough money during their time of service to allow them to live carefree. Now there are people around the country that are looking for $15 an hour while only containing minimum skills because they can't easily live off it, what they make already. But the soldiers around the world are making just as little as they are and have way more skills. In my opinion, these are the people that clearly need a pay raise. This is an essential part to bringing back the patriotism that was once so strong around the country. It is essential that we take care of our beloved soldiers. Another change I would attempt to implement as president would be the legalization of marijuana. The use of marijuana has been done for as long as it has been around. At times, it is even used as a medicine for many diseases. For example, many people believe that marijuana is a safe and effective treatment for symptoms of cancer, AIDS, multiple sclerosis, pain, glaucoma, epilepsy, and several other diseases and symptoms. Obviously, like all changes, there will be those who oppose it. These people say that it is highly addictive, and that it hurts your lungs, and that it impairs your driving skills. But how is this different than any other drug, like prescription pills or alcohol? What makes marijuana so much more dangerous than these other drugs that are still not around for regular use? Even the law has taken a backseat to marijuana consumption. The police force know just how many people use it, and to really crack down on it would be nearly impossible. And if you're caught with it, the penalties are usually quite small and rather uneventful. Another reason that it should be considered legalized is because the underground economy is not adjusted into the GDP, where if it were legal, it could potentially bring in millions of dollars to revenue, for the country. For example, in Colorado, which has legalized the use of the drug, has collected nearly $996 million in revenue. But that's not all. Another issue with marijuana being illegal is that where you will be purchasing from someone you've never met before, and for all you know, the drug you were trying to buy can be filled with who knows what. Many drug dealers will combine this nearly harmless drug with other much dangerous and highly addictive drugs to attempt to buy more from them. This will no longer be a problem if now the drug is regulated by the government and treated just as any other drug with the FDA. Another change I would plan to make if I were the President of the United States would be to make healthcare a government-run business. Yes, I know this goes against many of the views that we have as a market economy, but there's just far too much corruption when it comes to the health of those around the country. As the United States, we always try to make money where there is money to be made. But in terms of the health of the people of America, it has gone far out of hand. In America, health bills are the number one reason that people go bankrupt. This is just outrageous. People are going bankrupt just because they are not as healthy as other people or just not as rich as other people. This has gone far too long. The fact that poor people can't get the same care as the rich do is unbearable to me. Many countries already do this, such as France, Germany, Japan, and Spain, and these are some of the great economies around the world. These countries have had such great economies without the huge moneymaker which is healthcare for the United States. The price of drugs have just become too high for the average person to afford. And like I said before, it is the leading reason people go bankrupt. Enough is enough. There's plenty of other ways to make money other than banking on the poor and the sick. It is time for change in the way healthcare is done in the United States. Although it is long overdue, it is better late than never. Thank you. Another change that I would like to implement if I were the President of the United States is one revolving around student debt and colleges. The student debt around the country for those who decide to get a college education is so high that it often takes decades to actually pay it off. On average, college students come out with nearly $30,000 in student debt. This is outrageous. Almost every single student who attends college is going to be buried deep in debt and take years to get out of it. This again puts the rich to an advantage against those of the poor. This is because the rich can get out of college and get a job that they deserve, with the degree that they have deserved, while poorer people are required to get the first job available because they are so desperate for income, so their debt does not bury them as quickly as it got to them. One way I feel like you could do this is that you should be rewarded for how good of a student you decide to be when it comes to college, because obviously college is not just for partying. Every semester you bill will be based on how well you have done. For example, students with a 3.6 and above should be carefree in what they pay, while those with a 3 to 3.5 should have a cut price education, while those who do far more poorly will be forced to pay more than those who have really put in the hard work and effort. Now, I'm not saying that every school around the country should be like this, but only public schools such as SUNY Oneonta. If you decide to go to a private school, then you'll be forced to pay whatever the school requires you to pay. But because at the end of the day, colleges are run as a business. They are looking to make money, especially the private ones. But allowing anyone to get a fair shot at a public school will hopefully lead to many more people opting into an education that is so dire in today's workforce. Hopefully this change will be able to allow people, like everyday people, to really get the education they deserve and really make the workforce as good as it